Solitude is about what's happening in your brain, not the environment around you. Accordingly, they define it to be a subjective state in which your mind is free from the input from other minds. Solitude is not necessarily it can be, but not necessarily being alone in quiet. Solitude is being one within your own thoughts, being alone in your thoughts and reducing or eliminating the inputs from others, their thoughts, their ideas, their perspectives. And the reason it's so applicable to digital minimalism is because, this is kind of a side tangent, but in the world that we live in today, where we're so connected, we're too connected with phones and laptops and TVs and screens and iPads and computers and all of these things. We're so connected that we're constantly being fed this IV drip line of other people's thoughts, ideas, and perspectives that infiltrate our minds where we can't actually be alone in our own minds. That's what solitude is. That's why I run every day. I run, yes, for the physical benefits, but mainly for the mental clarity, the solitude. I can still get solitude while I'm listening to an audiobook or listening to a podcast. But man, it is powerful to be able to be in your mind, in your thoughts, without anyone else's influencing the waves that go on in your brain. And I didn't recognize this in the moment, but that's what that drive from Pennsylvania to Georgia was for me. It was solitude. It was hours of just thinking about the past, thinking about the present, thinking about the future. So by the time I got to Fort Benning, Georgia, and pulled into my apartment complex, I was doing so much thinking. I had so many moments of solitude leading up to parking in that parking space. It all hit me that I know I want to build something. I know that I want it to be BPN. But right now, my focus has to be my training in the military. I know for the next year, I have to be hyper-focused on learning the skills from the military, from officers, from non-commissioned officers, that's going to set me up for success for when I go be a platoon leader in the infantry in this next chapter. But that drive provided me the solitude to forward think and backwards plan. So by the time I landed in Georgia, I was ready for this next phase. I was ready for this next chapter. I was ready for the opportunities. So key takeaway here is, one, we need solitude. We need solitude in our life, because if we don't create or find ways to just be one within our own thoughts that removes the ideas, perspectives, and opinions of others, sometimes just for a small amount of time each day, it's going to be a really busy mind. It's going to be a really busy brain. This is what creates so much anxiety for so many people. The cases of anxiety are growing rapidly, from younger people to middle-aged to older. And it's because our minds, our brains are so infiltrated with others' inputs and not navigating our own. So find moments of solitude, especially as you enter a new chapter, a new phase of life. You're going through a transition. Set yourself up for success. And I didn't do all of this intentionally. It just happened this way. The drive created the solitude. The solitude created the clarity. The clarity provided me the energy and the focus to dive into this next chapter and really own it.